President Trump defended his administration's economic record while speaking exclusively with CBS News yesterday.
News anchor Tony DeCopo, quote, "We have the strongest economy maybe in the history of our country," close quote. Those comments came just hours after the Labor Department released the final Consumer Price Index report of 2025. It shows that inflation remains elevated here in the United States.
CBS News White House reporter Aaron Navarro joins us now. Aaron, so what did the president say about the economy exactly? Because inflation did come up, and he kind of dismissed Tony raising inflation.
Good morning. Both in his interview with Tony as well as in his remarks in Michigan, President Trump cited as the economy is doing really well. He claimed that inflation has been defeated, citing numbers and the growth rate slower now compared to during President Biden's term. He said incomes are rising and credited his tariffs, enforcing more foreign investment and manufacturing to come here to the United States. But when asked by Tony why that is not translating in terms of everyday costs such as groceries for Americans, President Trump blamed President Biden. Here's more of President Trump talking to Tony.
I have them down to a level that they haven't seen in about 9 years.
And Mr. President, help me understand, when I travel the country and I go all over the place and I talk to everyday Americans, they tell me they don't feel it because grocery prices
they might not,
are up.
but they're going to now. I've only been here for 11 months, okay? And, you know, the first few months were really rough, if you look at them, because I inherited a mess. I inherited a mess of crime. I inherited a mess of inflation. I inherited a mess of places closing up and going to other countries. And now we have the hottest country in the world.
Yesterday, the president also said he'd be unveiling new policy to lower housing costs. At the World Economic Forum in Davos later this month, we've seen proposals floated by him to lower the cost of housing by banning large private equity firms from buying single-family homes, as well as capping credit card interest rates to 10%. Those ideas have gotten negative reactions from banking associations and, at best, tepid response from Republicans on Capitol Hill.
All right, let me ask you about something completely different, Aaron. Vice President Vance and the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, are also meeting with officials from Denmark and Greenland at the White House today. It's interesting. I've seen some reporting around this that suggests that this meeting, in an attempt to clarify the president's designs on Greenland, could also have an adverse effect in that during a meeting, and Aaron, as you know, that hardline positions may emerge, both from the Dane side and the Greenlander side and the U.S. side, which may be hard to roll back in the days and weeks and months ahead. Aaron, what can you tell us?
This was a meeting requested by Denmark and Greenland officials as they have grown increasingly concerned about the president's rhetoric, as well as the rhetoric coming from the White House generally about Greenland, and are concerned that it will result in actual action, whether that be buying Greenland in some way, though Danish officials say it's not for sale, or using military action. It's not yet known if President Trump himself will attend this meeting scheduled for 10:30 today, but he was posting about Greenland this morning and wrote that owning Greenland is a national security matter, saying it's needed and is vital for the building of the Golden Dome defense missile system that he wants to build, and that if the U.S. does not acquire Greenland, Russia or China will. Greenland's prime minister has repeatedly said that Greenland's not for sale, and it seems the aim of requesting this meeting is to try and find some compromise to offer enhanced cooperation and access to Greenland for the U.S. in exchange for them to stop the rhetoric in terms of taking over the country. But you're right, it could have some adverse effects in terms of angering or really strengthening the stance of the administration when it comes to owning Greenland.
All right, Aaron, thank you so much.